Hi, I'm Dr. Nick Hrynyk. I'm an instructor here in Women and Gender Studies, and I'm here to talk to you today about one of our innovative courses at the first year level called Queer Activism. Queer Activism was fundamentally designed in order to have students engage in new forms of experiential learning that bridge their education at university with community projects, with other forms of community engagement that will allow for more positive and safe spaces to be built here on campus and in the community.
Hi, I'm Amber Joy Kubalis, and I took Queer Activism in intercession semester of 2019.
Hi, my name is Noelle Dupre Smith, and I took Queer Activism in fall of 2018.
In Queer Activism, we're taught the history of queer activism, especially in this region, in Canada as a whole. And it was very interesting to learn how far we've come and yet how far we still need to go. In that course, in addition to the traditional learning, we also put together projects on where we could see more activism needed in the community and how we would like to see that activism take place and what we think it would do for the community.
Yeah, so another great part of queer activism that I found is it didn't matter how much you knew about the queer community. You could be really advanced in knowledge, or you could be kind of a starter, and you learned just as much from either position. So myself personally, I learned copious amounts of terminology that I didn't even know existed before, ones that further helps me advance myself in papers and other classes, and so that I'm always being proper in my pronouns and all the above. And then another portion was our project at the end. So for my project, we were supposed to do kind of like a toolbox to use, and I chose to make the campus a little more of an inclusive place and have a little more color on campus. So my project was to create a rainbow crosswalk. So since fall of 2018, I've brought the project to the university, and it's been approved and hopefully will be in by the summer of 2020. So hopefully with that, we'll create a larger sense of inclusion and show that the University of Windsor truly supports everyone from the LGBTQ2+ community.
One of the benefits of the course of Queer Activism is that it speaks to the value of a women and gender studies education more broadly. Women's and gender studies has been carefully constructed in order to provide students with a comprehensive understanding of the ways in which gender and sexuality intersect with race, ethnicity, religion, and provide students with a holistic understanding of how these processes not only operate, but how they are reconstructed, how they are constantly mediated, challenged in society, and how they can better address them, they can better navigate them and identify these processes. In doing so, students not only learn new ways of thinking, learn new pedagogical and theoretical perspectives, but they also unlearn some of the more heteronormative ways of viewing the world. In doing so, they become more open-minded, they become more engaged community citizens, and that follows them well beyond their years after they are finished their university degree. So, you know, yes, we're helping build bright young scholars for the future, but we're also building better citizens in a way. We're encouraging students to constantly be engaged with their community. And I think that also speaks to the pride of University of Windsor and the value of a university education.
My name is Elena Salvin. So I took Queer Activism in the intercession semester of 2019. I learned a lot throughout the class. It was definitely very eye-opening, and it was very comforting to see other people so close on campus go through the same thing, learn the same thing, just kind of have the same thought process as you and the same open-mindedness. Whenever we entered the classroom, it wasn't really a classroom setting, it was more of a community. It was more like a family, everything was open, it was really a safe place. You hear it all the time, but that's really what it was. For my final project, I did open when letters. So with these letters, it was kind of a toolbox for people that needed some comfort, needed to relate to someone, needed help coming out, needed a little more guidance, education on what the LGBTQ community was. So some of the examples were open when you're ready, or open when you want to learn what the word gay means, or open when you're lonely, open when you need a friend. So it's kind of like that. I took a more individual approach with it because it's really a topic that can't really be generalized. Everyone has a different journey with it. Everyone has a different story. So I really wanted to make it more personal and more specific based on the person, not just the community as a whole. So my intentions were really just to educate, comfort, let people know that they're not alone in the community. Even though that sometimes you do feel alone, you never really are. You just have to look right beside you and there's someone that can relate to you right there.